Hi guys, so today in this video, we're going to take a look at a simple equivoke procedure, or sometimes called equivoque, or sometimes called magician's choice. Either way, you know what I'm talking about, and I want to show you a little trick and some subtleties and maybe some ideas that you may not have seen before on this procedure that might get your juices flowing in the creative department. Magician's Choice or Equivoke is one of the strongest things you can do, forcing-wise, for a layperson if you do it correctly. If you do it so horribly and make it so obvious, it can be one of the worst things you can do. So a word of advice is just to practice this thing and get confident and be confident in what you're doing, which is the key to Equivoke. Because if you sound like you're questioning yourself, then it's going to be a dead giveaway. So the best advice I can give you before we even get into this is to make it seem like what's happening is what was supposed to happen all along, and you are so confident in this thing that's going on that the person will not think any otherwise. Having said that, let's get into a little routine that you can do with a simple equivoke of 3 playing cards. Let's get into it. Alright, so this is sort of how the presentation would go. So, you know what, you seem like the type of person who is very, I would say, intuitive. Is that fair to say? I think it goes a little bit more, a little bit further than just your natural women's intuition. So I want to see if that's actually the case with you today. So let's try this. Actually, you know what, just in case, I'll do this. Yeah, I'm going to do that just in case. But I want you to see here that every card in this deck has a match. For instance, the 7 of hearts would be a match to the 7 of diamonds. You see the same color and the same number, right? You have the 2 of spades and the 2 of clubs, all right? The jack of spades and the jack of clubs, 5 of hearts, 5 of diamonds. You get the idea, 10 of spades, 10 of clubs. Same color, same value. And I believe that if you really try to and you put your mind to it, that I think that you can find a match in this deck of cards, all right? So why don't you try this? Cut a little bit of cards over to here, so they do that, and cut some more, about half of these over to here, and they do that. Now, within these 3 packets of cards, there's got to be a match, and there's a good probability that the cards you've just cut to, maybe there's a match in here. 3 separate parts of the pack, 3 single cards. Now, why don't you try this? Start mixing these cards around on the table like this, and when you're done, turn one of them face up, all right? And we'll see what card you get. Now, let's say they turn this one over here, the 5 of clubs. There's 2 left. Which one? This one, turn that face up. See, the jack of spades and the 5 of clubs is not a match, okay? But I did tell you that you try to find a match in the deck. Let's see what this is. The 6 of spades. Let's see if we can get a match somewhere in this deck. Finding the 6 of clubs in this case. Well, I don't see the 6 of clubs. I said just in case we would put that card over to here. We're looking for the 6 of clubs. And there it is. Alright, so what I like about this is that all the Magician's Choice procedures make sense in this sort of matching game, okay? So what's going to happen here is, obviously, if you have a marked deck, you know, a reader back, this is going to be very easy, and they can even shuffle the cards, and you will know which card is which just by the markings. But if you don't have a marked deck, and I chose not to use one for this case because not everybody has one, and this can be done impromptu with a little bit of preparation, just take a blue marker, if you're using a blue deck, or a red marker, and just indicate one card on the back. Just make a little marking with the marker on the back of the card, just so that you know which card is which. Or in this case, our force card is going to be the 6 of spades, and that'll just be on top of the deck, okay? Now, you can use my presentation if you want to, or you don't have to. I just like to say all that kind of stuff just to lead them into how they're going to feel about this, okay? So let's get into the nitty-gritty of this procedure. So first of all, what you want to do is have your a forest card that is marked on top of the deck, okay? So now you just want to take out the mate or the matching card. And I don't like to call them mates in performance mode for lay people. I just say that they're matching cards because they've never heard of the word mate in relation to playing cards. Maybe they've heard pair, maybe they're playing poker, or in layman's terms, a match, okay? So always call them what they can understand in performance mode, okay? So always speak in layman's terms. Now what you want to do is start talking about your intuition, blah, 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 whatever you want to do. But at some point, you want to take out the mate, in this case, the 6 of clubs, and put it to the side. Now, I don't like to make a big deal out of what I'm doing here. I just like to say, just in case, just in case, I'll do that. And don't say that don't make a big deal out of this. If you don't really care about it, then they won't either. So the more pressure you put on this and the more heat you put on this, the more importance they'll think it has. So I just like to say, just in case, and just do it casually. I'll just put that there. And don't call it a prediction, okay? Because that's not what this is at this point, okay? So that's there, that's 6 of clubs. Now, this is when you start talking about the pairs, blah, 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 the ace of spades, ace of clubs. So there's a pair right there. There's matching cards. Every card has a match. 5 of spades, 5 of clubs, 10 of diamonds, 10 of hearts. It's always the same color and the same number. You get the idea, right? So now you tell them they're going to find some matches in this deck, okay? So now you just have them cut into 3 piles, which obviously on top of one of them is your card, right? That makes no difference how they cut. So now you say, out of these 3 packets that you just cut, there's got to be one matching card in these 3 cards. The probability is pretty high because it came from different parts of the pack, blah, blah, blah. Now, since your force card is marked, it doesn't matter how much they mix these around, so you can tell them, hey, mix these around like this, just so that nobody can know which one is which. And you say, when you're done, turn any one of them face up. And the reason why is, and usually with these equivoque procedures, usually you'll have them, say, point to any 2. There's no reason to have them point to any 2 right off the bat, because if you have them, say, turn one over, and it happens to be the force card, that's a freaking miracle. So we'll start with that one first. If they turn, you say, look, turn one of them face up when you're done mixing, and you see that they do turn the 6 of spades up, you push that towards them, and you say, the 6 of spades, that's an interesting choice. Let's see if you got a match here. Ooh, the ace of diamonds and the 2 diamonds, that's off by 1. That is so close, because this makes sense anyway, because they turn one over and you slide that to where you brush it aside, and you act like these are the ones that are important. All right, so you turn them up and say, what if these match? That would be crazy. Boom, and they don't. So now you just reveal this however you want to. Now let's get into another thing that might happen. So they're mixing up, mixing up. You say, when you're done, turn one of them face up. And let's say they turn this one up. And, the 2 of diamonds. There's 2 left. Which one? And they point to this one, say, just point to one. And then if they point to this one, you say, turn it up. Ooh, the ace of diamonds and the 2 diamonds. That's off by 1. That is so close. But maybe it's not these that we're looking for. Maybe it's this one all along that we needed. And then you reveal them like this, however you want to. So the third option is like this. So if they turn one up and, the 2 of diamonds, there's 2 left. Which one? And they go for this one. Turn it face up, and it's the force card. Say, the 6 and the 2, and just stop this on top of the deck, okay? So, the 6 and the 2, they don't match. But let's try this. Turn this face down and mix them in your hands, just like this, so you don't know which one is which. And when you're done, just drop one down, and let's say they go for that one right there, which is the forest card, and have them put that on there, and you're done. If, on the other hand, they're mixing these up, which is the forest card and one of the odd cards, you say, just drop one, and they happen to drop this one, you say, yeah, on top of the deck. And then act like they made the mistake, and you're correcting them by putting the non-forest card on top. I'm sorry, on top of the deck. Like it's, like you're a little bit of annoyed, right? So, mix those up. And just drop one when you're done. I'm sorry, on top of the deck. And act like it doesn't matter. And you're holding one card. What card do you have? Boom. and then you reveal it. So the turning up of the cards and mixing them around and turning two face up really makes sense in this trick because you're trying to look for a match, right? So none of this stuff seems weird or suspicious or procedural because you're trying to look for matches. So you would have to turn over two cards. So I'll run through the scenarios one more time. Well, the first two, they're not that complicated because obviously you know what to do if they turn up the force card first, then you're good to go. If they turn up this one and then another one and they're the non-force cards, then it's also pretty obvious. So I want to run through the last part just in case you're a little maybe confused by it. I'm sure you're not, but I like to be thorough in my teachings here. All right, so they're mixing these up, blah, 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 and say when you're done, just turn up one of the cards, okay? They do that. The ace. There's two left. Which one? They point to one. This one here. Okay. I guess I put that there. The six and the ace. Well, they don't match. But let's try this. Maybe we can still find a match somewhere. They ask them to pick them up and mix them face down in their hand. And when they're done, they drop one. And since they're marked, you know which one they're going to drop, okay? So if they drop the force card, boom, have them put that on top of there and you're done. If they drop the non-force card, you say, oh, yeah, I'm sorry, on top of the deck is what I meant. All right, so you're just like sort of correcting them, acting like they're kind of stupid, okay? So, which is kind of harsh, but it works, right? So they're holding one card left in their hand. I think it's a really nice way to do the Magician's Choice, and in this way it makes sense because you are looking for matches. And I think that's the key point in doing Equivoque is, like I said, being confident and being assertive, and because they don't know what's going to happen. And you never want to say choose, pick, select. You always just want to be ambiguous in your wordings here. So you never want to say, look, let me get the force card here. You never want to say, look, I want you to pick one of those and turn it face up. Yeah. Or you don't want to say, which one do you want to have? You don't want to be, specific in your wordings. You want to be so ambiguous that anything you do will make sense, and you just reinforce that after the fact what they do. Okay, so I think that's all that you need to know about this, and it's like I said, it's a fun thing to play with, and I think using it this way you can apply it to so many other things and just get creative with it and have fun. I know I do.